All right, for more on the Disney Charter deal, let's bring in media analyst Rich Greenfield of Lightshed Partners. He's on the fast line for us tonight. Rich, great to have you with us. I'll pose the same question to you. Is this really win-win, or was there really a winner here?
I mean, look, Disney had to do this deal, Melissa. Like, when you look at the existential risk to ESPN from a permanent drop, and you got to give it to Chris Winfrey. He went to the, he really pushed harder than we've ever seen anyone push on Disney and more specifically on ESPN. But Iger is an amazing negotiator, and he got a deal done. Did Charter get everything they want? No, I don't think Charter got everything they want. They certainly wanted lower penetration requirements for ESPN in terms of packaging. But look, they got Disney Plus being included at a very low wholesale rate. That's a clear win for Charter, and more importantly for Charter subscribers, meaning the consumers who are watching Fast Money right now. Disney caved on that, and that's not something Disney wanted to do heading into this negotiation. So I think you have to give Charter the win, but it's not as big of a win as Charter would have liked, and Disney avoids the existential collapse of ESPN.
Did the NFL bully these guys into coming to a deal?
I mean, that's a really good question, Melissa. I don't know. I mean, I'd say every sports league, you think about it, Disney is wedded to, every sports league is wedded to ESPN, or the vast majority are wedded to ESPN, not to mention things like UFC as well. Everybody wants ESPN to survive. I don't think ESPN was viable if it lost all Charter's 14 million subscribers. I don't think you could recover from that. And so I think this gets you to survive. Obviously, there's still going to be significant financial headwinds. I mean, I would look at there's two choices. You had two doors for ESPN, bad and worse. Bad was accepting a deal you probably didn't want to take. Worse was not being carried at all and having to suffer through step-ups in sports rights fees. And so this is better than the worst-case scenario. But I don't think – so the reason why you guys were talking before I got on about the stock's reaction, I think the reason the stock's reaction was muted is, this is not a clear, obvious, huge win for Walt Disney. This is doing what they need to do to continue to, have an ongoing linear business. But there's still real challenges with how they transition ESPN into a viable D2C business. I don't mean ESPN Plus. I'm talking the true core ESPN going fully D2C. That's not an easy transition to pull off.
Rich, it's Karen. Let me ask you, how do you think what do you think the future holds for then a Warner Brothers Discovery, a Paramount? How do you think those play out?
Karen, you are asking the most important question out of all of this today.
As she does.
Which is, is this a new paradigm? Is this the new construct of which all programmers, meaning media companies, I don't care whether it's your parent company, NBC Universal, I don't care whether this is Paramount, does everybody now, when they're doing a deal for linear cable networks or broadcasting cable networks, do you have to include your streaming at a wholesale rate as part of that bundle? That's obviously something that never happened before. Charter has deals coming up with several other big media companies in the next 18 months. I believe all of them are going to have to do this. That's going to be table stakes now, given that Disney just agreed to it. And does this become what Comcast does? I mean, if you think about Comcast, they used to include Peacock as part of your video package. They've started making you pay for it. I wonder if that holds up, or whether it's Peacock or Paramount Plus, does everybody who subscribes to linear TV packages just get all of these streaming services? And that really changes the future of streaming. It's more about the bundle again. Funny enough, it's more about the bundle and less about actually being D2C. Maybe that's just recognition. D2C is really hard, and most of these companies are not cut out to compete with Netflix.
That also makes it seem like these streaming services will be offered more ad-supported. If that is the case, they're going to be offered free within the bundle. But on the flip side, it could be an opportunity for people to sample this and say, you know what, I'm willing to pay for it without ads.
Look, I think that's absolutely true. And I think one of the questions that I have is, when you think about the ad-supported, do people want to upgrade and pay a little bit more to get rid of the ads? I assume Charter will offer. I mean, I don't know this, but I would guess there's hey, get it for free as part of your package, but can you pay an extra $4 or $5 to get rid of the ads? That's the way Peacock launched when it first launched on Comcast systems originally. There's a lot we don't know yet. I mean, a lot that's in process. But look, I think the good news for the consumer is if you were already paying for the big bundle because you're a diehard sports fan, you're now getting more stuff as part of that, your price is obviously going to keep going up, which is the negative. But at least you're not having to say, hey, I'm paying for Disney Channel in the bundle, and I'm paying for Disney Plus out of the bundle. And if you think about what happens with Hulu, and Hulu probably gets included with Disney Plus over the next 12 months, this does seem to be a net positive for consumers as you look at it, forgetting about what it means for the companies. And I'm really curious whether every other company has to follow suit now.